Okay, so I woke up this morning and I honestly feel like I just have a lot to say and I have a lot to share with. Yes, I do have a therapy guy that I talk to, but he's only available certain times of the week and usually once a week. And I think in my head, it's really crucial for me to feel like I can share. And if it's the dumbest thing in the world that I do is share on my Instagram my thoughts, if it's dumb, so be it, because I honestly feel like it helps me. Like 3 years ago, I used to do AA meetings. I was never able to miss any meetings. Most of the girls would choose their meetings, and sometimes they go and sometimes they wouldn't. But the way my dad made it for me, I had to go no matter what. I couldn't miss any meetings, and I couldn't even choose the meetings I went to. So it felt forced. So I haven't been back in a really long time. Number one, because when you're forced to do something, it's kind of like, you kind of don't want to go back there and do it, but I secretly did like going. I liked hearing the people's stories, but the problem was I had hours and hours of week where I just sat there in silence. They were always like, do you want to speak? Do you want to speak? And I never got up to speak because I perform and stuff, but my heart, I'm very introverted and shy. If you told me to get a microphone and get up and talk, I would literally probably crawl in a hole and cry. So, I obviously have a lot going on in my brain of just like being in a recluse and being shy and not being able to open up. So this morning I woke up and honestly I just had a couple of things I wanted to say. So I'm showing two pictures right now. I'm reflecting back, probably this is a month ago, at me in my gym in my garage. I literally have to force myself to get the hell out of my head and breathe and literally look at my hands, close them together and look up and say, okay, am I praying right now? And it's like my hands just kind of do it for me. I don't even have to think about it. I'm like, what am I doing? Are my hands trying to tell me something? And my husband believes in universal power. There's a higher power we can connect to. I was born Baptist and my mother is Catholic, and I've practiced Judaism when I was younger. I actually had a rabbi come and visit me a couple of times a month when I went through a huge breakup a really long time ago because I needed help spiritually. He'd visit me on tours and things, and it did really help me out. But when I got married, it all stopped. I had children, and my whole focus was on my children, of course. I loved it, though. They were my world, my focus, my everything. I believed, honestly, the huge fact of just a miracle, the fact that a body and a woman could produce such a miracle, that in of itself was my belief and my purpose. So for 4 years, actually, people forgot. I used to have my kids way more than Kevin. People only actually... Yeah, I used to have my kids at one point way more than Kevin. I mean, people don't remember that part because they always focus on the negative. But from when they were 6 to 9 years old, I had them 70% of the time. And of course, since they've been gone, I've honestly felt like a huge part of me has died. Like literally I have no purpose anymore. They were my joy. They were my everything. I look forward to seeing them. That was what I lived for. And then all of a sudden they were gone. And I was like, did my heart just stop beating? And honestly, I don't understand how it's so easy for them just to cut me off like that. I don't understand it. And so yes, I do basically communication with horses. It's called quarantine therapy. But literally after like 45 minutes, you're talking to a fucking horse. But it honestly is a different reflection. I feel like my reflection with people is not very clear. And I think it's almost like I need to break through a wall or make contact. And I know it's an old story, but the psychological damage and not having real contact in that place in, 8 hours of just like communicating by just sitting in a chair and their big smiles and asking me questions and studying me. It's just like, I couldn't come out of my seat and I wanted to get the fuck out of there. I mean, Jesus Christ, how come by law these people can just like do this and make me think. And not just most people would say I'd like to be asked questions like that, but no, it was more of like, we're studying you. Like I was a science lab or like, and I'm saying this because God knows I'm not perfect, and I'm taking each day at a time, but yes, I'm taking each day at a time, but I honestly want to see with clear eyes. I feel like if I just could have came out of my seat and slapped the person in front of me at that place, I would have made some sort of contact. I feel like they ghosted me or made me feel like I wasn't present because I was so scared and fearful of the whole situation. It was like I wanted to do like some sort of break through a wall, and I feel like my family, they cut me off of everything I knew. I did feel like they were trying to kill me. My AA meetings, my kids, my car, getting dressed privately, watching me change daily, the 8 vials of blood, not gallons, but 8 vials of blood weekly, like none of it made sense. And honestly, none of it felt legal. That was the main thing. And with my kids now making the claims that she's not good enough, she wants attention. Yeah, I do want to be heard, and I'm angry. And I kind of subconsciously want to offend people because I've been so fucking offended. But I'm afraid to inform you guys. I'm not willing to see you until I feel valued. I won't be calling your monitor weekly who never did his job of informing me when you guys were coming. They made me the desperate one. You guys waiting 2 days for me to respond on when you guys could see me. And I never said any of this at the time because I was desperate to see you guys and I wanted to see you guys so bad. But honestly, I should have valued myself way more and told you guys when I was available. I gave you guys so much attention. It was pathetic. And what happened to parents owning the nest? The kids, like the mother, like my mother did. She never knew where I was. We lived in the South. I mean, though it's different now, but she was on the phone all day. I mean, I didn't even exist 1000%. I walked through the woods to my neighbor's house 3 times a day weekly, and nobody even knew I was gone. So I don't understand the strategic way of parenting and knowing the exact sugar count of your child's intake each day. I mean, I'm like, feed your kid fucking oatmeal with a touch of sugar. And so what if your baby's eyes open, his or her eyes open a little bit more? I want to see my child's open. The numbness and the not caring look at their age as teenagers, too lazy. I know I sound horrible, but the first thing I did when I saw them, before I fed them even their meal, I gave them ice cream. I wanted to see their eyes open. All I know is my love for my children is more than anything, and I'm sorry if I ever hurt you guys in any way. And me saying I'm a child of God is something I shouldn't have said to you guys. And me saying it's my turn to say so, that's something I should have said to my father. I've always been told the only person who can fix your heart is the one who broke it. Go to the source. He needs to be told, but that will never happen because I pray he burns in hell. But until then, Jaden and Preston, I adore you. I was told you guys have blocked me. But I will speak here. I hope you're using your punching bag I gave you. You guys are unbelievable in the gym. Happy early birthday. You guys can do pull-ups. Wow. Your skill in everything you do. I'm so blessed to even call you mine. And I just want you to know I apologize. My ignorance in saying no, saying so to you guys, because that was meant for my father.